Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, we're finally on this 2016 Volkswagen Passat going to install a rear spoiler. I finally got it. I finally just broke down and bought it. It wasn't that expensive, but it's not cheap, and it's actual carbon fiber. At least they say it is. It's super lightweight, so you're not going to have any problems with your opening your trunk with the automatic opener. I've had one for over a year that I have not used. I tried to put it on. I painted it. Did the whole thing. It's sitting in my garage, and it was a $145 spoiler. No, this one was the same price, but this one's much better, and it's specifically made for this car, so it fits perfectly on the car. You don't have to bend anything, heat it up. It's ready to go. All you got to do is put some double-sided tape on it, line it up, center it, and install it. So that old spoiler's just been sitting there. It's a shame. Try to sell it, I guess, for half price. If anybody wants it, let me know. I'll sell it for dirt cheap. I'm not going to talk about that company because I don't like to bash anybody unless they really make me mad. So we're going to get this thing put on. I'm going to show you how to prep the car. I'm going to show you the spoiler itself and what you're going to need to get the job done so we can get this car looking good, looking real good. Here's what we've got. Hopefully most of you guys are familiar with this car after seeing all of the videos that I have and all the things we've done to it. Oh, by the way, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Hang out to the end of the video so we can get a look at the finished product here. But we're gonna put it here. It's gonna fit perfectly. It goes from there pretty close to the edge all the way to the other edge. Gives it a nice look. It's not overly aggressive. It's going to set this car off really nice. When I got the spoiler, this is the spoiler. Okay, see that? It's nice and smooth and gloss on the outside. The inside is rough. That's your carbon fiber there. It's super lightweight. So it's not gonna put any unwanted weight on the trunk, which again does cause issues with your automatic trunk opener. Sometimes it's too heavy to open automatically and you have to go over and help it. So that's not going to be the issue here. This is going to be great. It's nice and sturdy, nice and strong. It's good looking, man. I will say it's very good looking. Now, I couldn't find this particular one in black. I kind of wanted just the black, but I'm going to go with this. I could always paint it later, but I like it. I think it looks really good. It is a black carbon fiber, though. It's not gray or anything. It's pretty dark, so it's going to look sharp. It comes with a wide double-sided tape and a thin double-sided tape because there are two different parts on the back, a thin part and a wide part. A thin part and a wide part here on the back of the spoiler that we're gonna put this tape. So just need some rubbing alcohol. I use that for everything, and a microfiber towel. So we're gonna go over to the car. We're gonna clean the surface really well. I've already clay barred it. You don't have to do that, but I do. But I have another video on how to do that. But basically you want that surface very smooth. You don't want any contaminants on it whatsoever. Just wipe it down a couple times really well with alcohol. Just takes a couple minutes to dry. Let it dry. Just kind of dust it off. Make sure there's no dust on it after you're finished. And then we can apply this spoiler. Now, first things first, before we sanitize it or put alcohol on it, I want to show you. This spoiler is what they call a V-style spoiler, okay? It kind of fits along this groove. Some spoilers sit on top. I don't like that. This is more secure because it fits on both parts here. So, as you can see, I'm just going to sit it here just to give you an idea before we clean it. And really, you have about 1/8 of an inch on each side. You don't even need to measure. That's where a lot of people get consumed with a lot of measuring and taping and things like that. We're not going to have to do that because as long as these two ends are equal, this thing is not flexible. So where you put it is where it's going to go. It's not going to bend and flex as you go. So really, when we put the tape on the back and go to apply it, we're just going to put it where it goes and it's going to sit there. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's just sitting on there right now. That is freaking sharp. That is really sharp and it fits perfectly. Perfect. Let's get it cleaned up and then we'll prep this spoiler and get it put on. So I used a lot of this alcohol kind of liberally because why not? Just get all the surfaces that it's going to be near, those clean, nice and smooth. You don't want to feel any grit or anything like that. Don't be afraid to use it. It's not going to hurt anything. It dries really fast. So that should be good. Let that dry. Just takes about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, depending on how much you put. Now, while that's drying, we're going to go over and do the same thing to the back of the spoiler. We're going to rub it down with some alcohol, then we're going to apply the double-sided tape to the spoiler. It says when you buy it, it does not come with instructions. I don't need instructions, but you have some basic instructions here. It talks about your wide tape and then your thin tape, where it goes. That's really the only verification I needed. So I'm just gonna, what we've got is this thin part here, obviously, is where the thin side, the thin tape is gonna go. The wider tape is gonna go here. Just common sense, really. Let's take some alcohol, rub this down really well. All right. Because you want your tape to adhere to the surface with no interference whatsoever. So just lightly wipe that down. Get all the, because people have oils on their hands, you know, you never know what was at the factory when it was manufactured. You know, you don't know what it's been around, so you just want to make sure all the oils are completely off. All right, that should be good. Let's get our tape out. Let's do the thin one first. I think that's going to be the most difficult, just to follow that line there. This is it, but we're going to start over here on the edge. Try to keep it on the inside of that lip so you don't see it when it's on the car. There's our starting point. Okay, so just, it's kind of hard to do this on camera. Just run it down. And again, I'm staying in about a 1/16 of an inch inside of that outside edge. I'm running out of room here on the workbench for you guys to see, so you get the idea. I'm going to run this all the way down, then we're going to come back and I'll show you how to put the wider one on. All right, we have the thin layer done. Let's start on the wide one. Just go all the way out as far as you can. Trim that up in the end. I trimmed these up, you can see. Just come in about a 1/16 of an inch from the edge. Just run it down again. Just run it down. Because you don't want that sticking out. You don't want it to look cheap. You know, it just takes a little bit of effort is what I've learned in my life. If you take your time, take a little more effort. I know everybody wants everything right now. Well, if you have ADD, that's fine. I am the complete opposite. I can sit and concentrate on something forever. And I know that's rare these days, but I have learned that, you know, I didn't always have that, but I learned that I make less mistakes just taking my time a little bit. Because you see some cars out there, they have a lot of potential that look nice, but you can see they hurried up and were really sloppy with everything. Now, I will admit, I have some sloppy things on this car that I'm going back and redoing, like when I vinyl wrapped the grill, it was my first time doing it. About 1.5 years ago, I'm slowly replacing some of that vinyl and making it look better. But, you know, that's just part of learning. So, anyway, this is going on pretty well. Just run it down. That's how you do that. I'll finish running it down because it's going off the camera. But once we get that down, I'm going to trim these edges up here, and make it look really good. Then we're going to take it over to the car. We're going to peel off the red part on both and just apply it. All right, so it's done. It looks good. It's all trimmed up. It's ready to put on. Go up and down it with your thumb or your fingers and just make sure it's pressed down the best you can. All right, let's go put it on. Put on. Everything's clean. Don't touch anything. First thing we want to do is just start peeling it off. Now, I will tell you, there are a lot of different spoilers out there. a lot of ones that are flexible, some rubber ones that I can't stand. I like the ABS plastic and I like this carbon fiber. They spend 5 minutes in the video just measuring. No measuring needs to be done here. It's like 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here, not even 1/8. So we know where we are. All right, so once you get it, just peel this off. Yeah, because the angle changed, so I made a separate piece for that and then a separate piece for the other piece. So for me, because you know I kind of have sausage fingers, it's hard for me to get this red stuff off, but I manage. There we go. There's that. Okay, it's good and sticky. Now let's go for this. This is all in one piece, the fat one. The wide one. I think that's probably a more appropriate word, right? I don't know, you tell me. I don't really care, to tell you the truth. We're just here to install a spoiler today. All right, I finally got it here. Peel that bad boy off. Now the moment of truth. Everything's clean. Let's get it on. So I remember exactly how much space it was there. I'm just going to tack it there. I'm not going to let it go down in the middle, and make sure it's even on the other side. Kind of tack it there for a second. Perfect. Perfect. Make sure your emblem's not being covered. You want to lift that up a little bit. Just push in. Now remember, the front area has the tape. This has the tape as well. So you want to push down. Just go along as much as you can. Give it some good pressure. Good pressure. Man, it's hot here. I'm in Houston, so it's like 9,076.41 degrees. So you just want to make sure both sides are adhering to the car, to the surface of the paint, car. Man, that looks good. That looks really good. I will tell you, that is probably the easiest spoiler I've ever installed by far. Really, no measuring is required. As far as measuring goes, not required. Just kind of eyeball it. You know what's going on. Let's take a look at it. Now I do need to wipe it down with some alcohol and clean it up a little bit. I have fingerprints, but wow. I'm gonna take it outside. We're gonna get a view of the whole car and see what it looks like. All right, it's outside. Let's get a look at it. Oh wow. Completely changes the look. It was so plain, so family sedan looking. Look at that. That's fantastic. That is excellent. And in the sun, you can see the carbon fiber. Yeah, that looks really, really sharp. And it fits perfectly. Get yourself one of these. I'll put it down in the description. Well worth it. Like I said, that other one I had, it's from a major company, one that everybody knows. It was horrible, and I've heard nothing but horror stories about it. Save yourself some time and some money and get one that really fits, that is made for the car. Same price, but better. I give this a complete thumbs up. I'm glad I put it on the car. It looks fantastic. It's needed it for so long. Hey, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Hit the bell. You'll get notifications. I put out videos all the time on this Passat. Check out all the videos in my channel, from maintenance to mods, and we're going to be doing a lot more in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.